My project for today on this bicycle is replacing its broken shifter cable. Here is one broken end, and in this video I'll show you what this job takes in terms of tools and skills and what's involved here. This is a Shimano Ultegra, a dual function lever set, a brake and shifter mechanism combined. That's a dual function lever set. It also has an Ultegra Derailleur down there. I will get you close-ups of exact model numbers, but I'm going to show you first a situation that happens. The broken end of this cable is okay. There's really nothing to see on a broken cable, but the broken end is inside there, inside the ratcheting drum mechanism that winds up the cable sort of like this way, or in a really tight turn around a drum with a ratcheting mechanism. And that's how this cable is shortened, and then that's how the derailleur is moved in towards the center of the wheel. And as this ratcheting mechanism slowly releases the cable and unwinds it from this drum inside there, then the derailleur springs back out into the starter position here. So what I want to show you, and this is where we start kind of halfway through the job, is a broken cable end inside this drum shifter mechanism. I'm gonna get you a close-up of this one, take you off the tripod, and we'll show you exactly what got removed here, and we'll put the components back together. The drum mechanism is inside there. The cable will run here through that tiny hole there, the upper one, or through the upper portion of this long slot there. The cable's end should go in here. I'll show you how this rubber flap can be folded back. It's very straightforward. The exact model number is right here, ST-6800, and I will show you what happened here. You can see the broken cable end with its broken wire there, and I just want to take it out right now. It's just hanging here. So this is what you might also come across. I'm gonna put it down thereabouts on the floor, and we'll show you just how this drum mechanism normally rotates, if I can, but of course this thick rubber is holding it back. Okay, now it's rotating, but there isn't a whole lot of light on it. There, you can see it rotated back. So this is where the cable's end, the anchor end on the new cable, which cost me $5 and is on the ground here. Not really the best place, but I'm not gonna step on it, and it's gonna get lubricated later. So here is the anchor end of the cable, and that anchor end needs to go in right there, and the rest of the cable is wound up in this general direction. Takes a turn here, goes through some components. I'll show you everything. So but we start hereabouts, and so it's important that you place the cable. You can see as shifting is being done that this drum is rotating inside or ratcheting inside, and this channel here that you see in the middle is where the cable is going to be running. So I'm going to start right about here with my left hand in this case, and just feed the whole cable through. And of course the end of it needs to be seated properly, so for that it needs to shift all the way back to this position. Okay, so if yours doesn't do this rotation, then that's because there's the broken bit inside, and that needs one screw removed from the underside there to get to it. So that's how the cable is properly seated there, and I just pulled on it with my other hand. It's there inside the lever set. I'll show you where the cable leads in a sec, and you really don't need to remove the lever set from the bicycle. It's in your favorite position, you know where it should go, just leave it there. This 5mm hex head bolt, or needs a 5mm Allen key or hex key, don't remove it, it's unnecessary. You can get everything done pretty much with a little bit of fighting like this, because this is this rubber hood is a tight fit, as it should. So what happened here on the underside, I'll get you a close-up this way, if I can control the light a little better. So this is what's on the underside. The screw is, yeah, maybe from here. You'll see in a sec where the screw is going. Another piece of plastic is needed, and I just pushed this bit down like so, opened it up with this pair of tweezers to get the cable end out. And of course it's yeah, don't break this piece of plastic, it's prying against this component here, so they kind of need to, this one here and this one kind of need to rotate together like so to get the broken bit of cable end out. So let me show you. This is a little trim piece that's missing from there. The rounded part faces the handlebar like so, and one tiny screw goes through there, which I left. No, that's my cable end, sorry, which I left here. And it needs, oh, what kind is it? A number 1, Phillips number 1 screwdriver. So I'm going to put these back together. I'm going to put you back on the tripod, and because the components snap back into correct position on their own, I really don't have to hold too much anything. I want to make sure I don't bury a portion of this handlebar wrap underneath. Make sure this tiny plastic piece is fitting properly. Thereabouts. Now the handlebar wrap is holding it, and then I really hope that I can just put this screw back in here where it was without an incident. Yeah, looks like it's working. So the finished assembly has gaps. Take a look at it. It's fine. So that's how it looks like. So these gaps here, and this gap here, and that gap there, that's not a mistake. This is the only way these plastic bits fit together. Okay, I hope this makes sense, that this piece is flush and fits properly. So on the other side, where the cable came out, the cable of course has to continue inside a channel there, and then has to go through a small fitting there. I'm gonna try to hold the camera and feed the cable through. Of course the bicycle is on this cable. So now it's important at the end of the cable be not frayed, because otherwise you will not be able to push it through this tiny fitting there. It should make its way there inside this casing here, and come out through another fitting there. I'm gonna get you a close-up of this fitting once the cable is through it. Let's see, is it coming out there? Not yet. It's coming out now. I can pull it here, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't have any extra twists or Yeah, it should flex and it should snap into place like so, naturally. Yeah, like so. This part here I'm going to lubricate later. First I just want to fit everything back together, and of course this one is a little bit loose, but don't worry, I'm just going to pull on the cable here, and it doesn't want to fit properly, not a problem. Make it go back where it should. There, now I pulled on it again. The anchor end of the cable is in the correct position right there. So this hood is fairly straightforward. It just needs to be, it has multiple hookup points on the inside. It needs to be, it's a tight fit, it needs to be massaged into place, something like that, but we're not quite done. That was my chair. I'm sitting on a bucket with a piece of wood across. So we're not quite done yet. I just want to show you what covers this cable here. Is this gray, I don't know, this gray cover plate, and it has a tiny anchor end, so don't rip it out from its place. It leads to the opposite side. There you can see this anchor end. It's kind of shaped like an arrowhead, kinda. Okay, just it's there. So how this one gets removed when you start this, it might look like that, with its with the broken cable, of course, missing from it. So all you need to do is grab a corner with a pair of tweezers or something small like that, and lift it out. Okay, your nail might work too, just like so, and leave it dangling there. I'm gonna cover this right now and put the hood back into correct place, also making sure that it's correctly fitting on the underside here. Yeah, it needs to be dragged towards the handlebar quite a bit. Yeah, that's more like it. So it's a tight fit, and it shouldn't be like this. So I'm gonna work on it. It's coming together, but you get the idea. So then the cable is correctly in place. You can't see the cable end in any other way. You're gonna have to peel it back again, but that's how that works. And then on the old cable, I'm seeing a little spacer like this, with that looks like this. They separate. They are made of rubber. And at this point I'll show you a close-up of this little fitting here. I've got spare ones. You can just get them from a bicycle store, and that's how the spare ones look like. So this one has a longer cable guide, that one has a shorter one. So this one with the longer guide obviously goes there. The one with the shorter one, if you remember seeing it, right around here underneath the handlebar here, so just leave it in place. It's seated here properly, but it should be there guiding the cable, so that's what the cable was pushed through, if you remember that part. And then from here on it's fairly straightforward. I'm gonna have to put these ones on the new cable, and then let me put you back on the tripod. Probably it's a little less nauseating, because this way the camera doesn't shake. The condition of these is important, because if the cables rub against the frame, this is a carbon fiber frame, this is a steel cable, this is harder than that. This will abrade, gouge out the frame. So make sure this is in place and it exists and has a meaningful thickness to it. Like so, it's gonna run there. So now I'm gonna rotate the bicycle upside down. Have a look-see on what's on the underside here. The cable is obviously gonna run right here. This is the broken cable coming right out. This is the new cable with this spacer on it. I'm gonna have to feed it in through here, and we're almost done. It needs to, of course, go through here. One more set of spacers, one more of this plastic piece that guides the cable, and then through this and out there, and needs a 4mm Allen key or hex key to clamp it down. Very straightforward. Now, adjusting and setting this derailleur correctly with the correct cable tension is going to be a completely different video, but from here on it's fairly self-explanatory. Loosen the bolt, put the cable in, tighten the bolt just anywhere to get started. Don't cut the cable to length yet. Thanks for watching.